Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. This hour, I would like to do a little guide, if you will. It's almost like a booklet or a pamphlet, certainly a list. Every once in a while, we do a list, like recently we did a list of red flags. What are some red flags? Issues that you know spell doom for a relationship that are frequently overlooked. And we had people call in and give us a list of those. Ways you can tell if a guy is a pussy. We've done that. People called in and gave us various examples. And I know that this list is going to be useful to many people out there. Because you know why? I think many times, just like red flags, these are things people overlook. Either because they can't face reality, they're in denial. It's too much effort to think of what will happen if you really deal with this. And I think that people will hear some of your suggestions and they will maybe see themselves. And hopefully they will act accordingly. I'm going to start you off with my little list. And we're going to see where this goes. Very simply. In this hour of the program, I want to talk with you about ways you can tell your relationship is dull and getting worse. Let me give you some of the examples. There are many. The first example I always think of is the one about, and by the way, you see these on Match.com all the time, other internet dating sites. You know there's a problem. This person was already in a relationship that was dull, and now, how can you tell the person was in a relationship that was dull? I'll tell you how. They have one of those pictures taken, one of those glamour photos, where they are dressed as an angel, or a Playboy bunny, or any number of other things. And the pictures are always shot with, like, Vaseline over the lens to make it all look cloudy and also to hide crow's feet, wrinkles, and turkey necks, frequently. But glamour shots. The women are shot like they're shot for a centerfold in Playboy magazine. And sometimes they're actually shot nude for these photos. Now, that photo is a sign of desperation. And the reason it's a sign of desperation is because this is clearly a woman who has seen her husband doing the old spanky-spank to a copy of Playboy magazine. And she thinks that what it is the man wants to see somebody posing nude. And so she decides to fight fire with fire and pose nude like the Playboy girls do. The one problem there, Playboy girls are 19, 20, 21, and you're 45. You don't look like them, and no amount of airbrushing or Vaseline is going to change that. So you're desperately trying to get your man's attention back. I mean, literally, you could stand over there at Sears or wherever at the mall they're doing these. I know Sears, many Sears do this. We have photographers at Sears. And it's clear to me. You could just stand there and watch all the women coming and going, and you could tell which ones have relationships that are on the rocks. You can tell. Everyone who comes in to have that photo taken. Probably they have free time to do that because their husband's in a motel room with their receptionist, and they have time to go to the mall and get all made up and get shot for that. Just pathetic. That's a sign that the relationship is in big trouble. That is like a 200-pound woman coming at you in a teddy that you just bought at Victoria's Secret. You know what I'm talking about? That sign of desperation. You know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. If she's 200 pounds, it doesn't matter what she wears. Somehow she thinks she needs to dress sexier. The reason you're not interested is because she's not dressing sexy enough. And really, it is a matter of dressing because she is wearing 80 pounds of ugly fat all the time that she won't get rid of. Bottom line. Yeah, and of course, yes, that would be one of the examples. Fat women who go and buy lots and lots of sexy lingerie. Desperate. Desperate. Here's another one. Is your girl taking strip classes yet? Pole dancing? Has she done that? Has she done that? Clearly, she's convinced that the problem with your relationship is that you go to strip clubs all the time, and what you want is a stripper. So she's going to act like a stripper. She's going to go to a class and learn how to be a stripper. And that's going to fix everything. Women love to be in denial about this. They love saying it's great exercise. I don't do it for a man. I do it because it's great exercise. They all say that. But in reality, these are women who are trying to save or salvage relationships. No doubt about it. Frequently, the strip pole comes first, then the glamour photo. And if she's fat, you can add in the sexy lingerie, thousands of dollars worth. No doubt about it. Any woman in California, people don't understand what I'm talking about. Any woman who wants to spend a weekend at the Madonna Inn. You know what the Madonna Inn is? The Madonna Inn is a hotel in Central California along the 101 that each room is a different theme. And the theme in the room is reflected not only in the decor of the room, there are also costumes you wear. So the idea is to freshen up your stale relationship by role-playing. One room I remember seeing on a movie, they actually filmed the movie there once, was the caveman room. I'm not making this up. You go into the room and the motif is a cave. And they've got matching loincloths for the two of you to wear. Now, if you are going to the Madonna Inn for the weekend or anything equivalent to that, you are desperate. Your relationship is in big trouble. It's a sign that your relationship is going downhill, that you are bored, that the other person is bored. It is a sign of desperation. No doubt about it. That is a sign of desperation. That is something people do to revive a dead relationship. You can add in all those trips to those old-school motel rooms with mirrors on the ceiling and hot tubs and porn videos. How about this? Okay, there you are. You're in the suburbs. You've got the 3 kids. You live on Wisteria Lane. Okay, there you are. And then suddenly your wife decides to go to the video store and start renting X-rated DVDs. Because she wants to, quote-unquote, spice up your marriage. That is a relationship that is pretty far gone at that point. I mean, imagine you're the husband, you come home, and there's your wife who you've stopped being attracted to 8 years ago. Imagine the pressure you feel when you come home and you see those DVDs sitting there. Oh, God. Ow. I mean, that's like last exit before toll. You know what I'm talking about? No doubt about it. These are the little signs. There's lots of them. There are things people do trying to revive dead relationships. I'm sure many of you have seen these people walking through places in L.A. We have places called Hustler Hollywood or the Pleasure Chest. Every city has at least one of these stores where they've got sex toys and lotions. And it's like having sex used to be good enough, right? Remember? I mean, all you did was have sex. You came home and you just plowed her, right? And now she thinks you need whips and chains and handcuffs and everything because it's just not good enough anymore. She thinks this is going to save it. Again, there you are, Wisteria Lady. You come home, and there are all these whips and handcuffs lying on your kitchen table. Honey, I got those for the weekend. Yeah. It's done. It's done. Your relationship is really its last exit before toll. So that's the list we want to make. Ways you can tell that your relationship is beyond repair. Things we do to try to save dead relationships.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Well, break it down for me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I'm a fairly new listener. I've been listening for about 6 months now. I love the show from day one. I've been hooked. I'm like a drug addict.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, give us some examples. These are things that people do when a relationship is heading downhill. It's probably beyond redemption. Glenn on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 I would say when she starts wanting to become a swinger. And thank God it's never happened to me.
Yeah, that's the day it's time to leave.
Yes.
That's the day it's time to go, because you know what? If you go, then you can have sex with anybody you want anytime you want, and you don't have to look at her naked or the other ugly swingers naked.
Exactly. Especially if she wants to swing with, like, your brother or something.
Wow, that would be hardcore.
Yes, it would.
All right, Glenn, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate the call. Swinging, he says. This is Gabriel on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah, how are you doing, Tom?
All right, Gabriel.
All right, yeah, basically, for example, I mean, like when a girl tells you, oh, can you take me to Fredericks of Hollywood? And then you're going to start buying some lingerie, and then she wants to go to Pleasure Island, wants to buy some toys and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, yeah. All of that is a sign that it's over.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you just got to move on and just get something that you could handle with, you know?
You are right about that.
All right, can you blow me up?
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Corey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you, Corey.
Tom, how about it when you'd rather spank it than do your wife, because it takes her 45 minutes to get aroused? I can't stand it anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, when she needs foreplay for an hour or more,
it's time to DTB that.
It's done. It's done. It's done. You just don't want to do any foreplay. We just start getting into that debate. It's over right then and there. Right then. It's done. If you have to get down there with a coal miner hat, you have to start searching around. Done.
All right, Tom, blow me up.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Kelly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to say that I think a lot of the signs that you're referring to can actually be significant of a healthy relationship and not necessarily that a relationship is over.
Oh, I don't agree. I think it's the exact opposite.
You don't agree?
No. I think it's signs that you're bored and you need to try to stretch out a relationship that's pretty much a done deal, dead, over. You know, we do this a lot. I talked about this not long ago when I did a show about ED. All these ads for Viagra and Cialis, and we assume that people have a problem, so we give them a pill. But, the problem is these are American men who have to look at women with stretch marks and 180 pounds on them. There's nothing that a little YG wouldn't solve if you have ED, YG being young girls. And the thing is, we can never admit a relationship is ending or over. We keep trying to push it further and further in every which way. When a woman goes down to Sears and has herself photographed like a Playboy bunny, thinking that it's because her husband is looking at Playboy, that's the reason their relationship is in trouble. That's why she gets that picture taken, not because they have a healthy relationship.
So you think in all relationships, if there's lingerie or if you enjoy pornography together?
No, I think if your 200-pound wife buys a lot of lingerie,
okay,
it's a sign.
So you're referring to specific women then?
Well, I know there's nothing wrong with lingerie. But, like, let's say she never wore lingerie and suddenly she buys it.
I see.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Or when she suddenly takes stripper classes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want my wife to be a stripper. I want strippers to be strippers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know, I have the lowest possible opinion of strippers. They're human ATMs. They're worse than hookers because hookers at least give you something for your money. And do I want my wife or my girlfriend to be like that? The reason guys like watching strippers is because they want to see somebody who's hotter than their wife and somebody who's a slut who's sliding down a pole.
Well, I think you tend to generalize on the whole.
You have to generalize. We're talking about millions of people here.
Okay, well then, okay, I guess I
cannot go through the phone book and take everybody on a case-by-case basis. That's not possible.
Right.
You may be the exception to the rule, Kelly, but I really don't care. The vast majority of people who take glamour photos, it would be interesting to check, if you could ever get a list of all those people and check it against the list of people who got divorced within 5 years after that, I'll bet there's a lot of names in common.
Right. I understand your point. I guess I come from a different perspective in my own case.
Well, but then, again, just because you're an exception doesn't mean the rule isn't the rule. The exception proves the rule.
All righty. Well, I guess I'm a first-time caller, and I may call in again another time.
All right. Very good. First-time caller, and you sounded like a first-time caller. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. These are signs the relationship is slipping. These are things you try in order to revive a dead relationship. Jack, hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
All right. You know that you got problems. When she sits down with you and she says, we need to talk. Now, she says we need to talk. She needs to talk. I need an attorney.
Well, we need to talk. Yeah, generally, it's a lot closer to the end than any of the other things I've suggested.
Oh, yeah.
We need to talk means she's got papers behind her back she's about to give you.
Yeah, she's been planning it for a year.
Yes.
You know, it's planned. This is your last chance. You can kiss her tush, or she's going to be gone, and she's already halfway gone anyway.
Yeah.
So it's no point, man. Once she says, we need to talk, it's time to leave.
Here's another example. Ever been in a relationship where it's gotten so bad that ultimately she offers sexual favors, like oral favors, in exchange for, like, buying her things she wants?
Oh, yeah. At that point, you realize what you have married.
Somebody I know who knows who he is was married to a woman who said that she'd give him oral if he got her Venetian blinds. He got them for her, and then she gave it to him. You pretty much know it's done when you're down to that.
At that point, you're much better off finding a gal who has an actual price list. You know, go down to Mexico and have a much cheaper time in Mexico than you will with a wife like that.
No doubt about it. Alfred on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, breakup sex. She starts doing everything you ever really wanted her to do, and it's like, why didn't you do this before?
Oh, everything she ever said no to? Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Oh, yeah, all the things she would never do in bed. Now she's willing and ready to do them. She wants sex 7 times a day all of a sudden. Remember when you wanted it 7 times a day? And she said, come on, you just had it last week. And all of a sudden now she needs it all the time? You know it's over then. You know it's over when she wants it 7 times a day and you're like, God. Like that.
Yeah, then you keep wondering, why is the sex so good and I still want to break up with this girl? Because it's over, and in the back of your head you're saying, get the hell out, no matter how good it is.
Yeah, well, back when I really needed it, you didn't want to give it to me. You know how many relationships I've been in like that? You know, but in the beginning, I'm like completely lusting after this person. And like, come on, I'm watching TV. Come on, it's late. Come on, it's early. Come on, and then there's 80 million reasons. Then later, when the relationship is over, it's like they need it every second of the day.
Yeah,
It's kind of this sick concept that you only want what you can't have.
Great. Take me out with a bong hit.
Here you go.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
If your boyfriend makes $28,000 a year, you are hideous.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about the things people do in relationships. When in their heart they know it's dead, but they try to revive a dead relationship. John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, John.
Hey, Tom, you know it's over or close to over whenever there's a sudden change in the behavioral pattern. She'll go to the gym, she'll cut her hair, she'll take a class. There's some kind of shift that she wants to improve herself. That's one of the earliest signs that something's about to come.
Or if she suddenly starts going to the gym on her own.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah, or she's going out with the girls suddenly.
Well, that's when she's got one foot out the door. I'm talking about right before that, when you're in that situation where you're doing things where you're legitimately trying to fix the relationship, but it's too late.
Right.
So going out with the girls would not fit into that category because that means she's already got one foot out the door.
Well, that's true. But what I'm saying basically is that whenever there's...
Getting a new hairstyle definitely would fit into that category.
Yeah. And new clothes. Anything that is just kind of out of the norm of whatever the routine is.
Like any woman who says she's going to start dressing sexier.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And she buys a whole bunch of new clothes and suddenly starts walking around and you're like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah. The question is, where are you going?
No, but the thing is, before she's going out, she's trying to get your attention by doing that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you stop paying attention. And the point I'm talking about is when she's offering you sex and you're not even interested. You know, you're going to sleep early. You're telling her you're tired. Suddenly you're being like chicks. You just say, I got a headache. How about tomorrow? How about next week? So she then starts doing things that try to revive your interest, but it's already too late.
Absolutely.
All right. John, thank you for that. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Elisa on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Do you care, Elisa?
You know, I really do. You always ask everyone that, and I do.
Some don't.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. I totally disagree. I think that all the things that you're saying are a healthy relationship.
I really don't agree with that. I think putting a stripper pole in is not a sign of a healthy relationship.
Don't you think that it brings just a little excitement? It just makes it a little more fun?
No.
No?
No.
You've got to have really boring relationships.
No. It's not that. It's that, if I want to look at strippers, I'll go to a strip club.
But, it's a little more fun when you got it at home. And
that's a female perspective. Most men, when they see that coming, run for the hills.
I just don't think that's true. Every man looks at a woman who can dance and goes, wow, I'd like to touch her.
Actually, they would much rather see a woman just get into bed.
Well, then fine. So when you get into bed, you bring some toys, you bring some lube. I think that's a great idea.
Again, that is when, you notice you never need toys and lube when the relationship starts.
Of course you do.
No, you don't need them.
Yes, you do.
You don't need them. You can use them, but you don't need them. You need them later on when sex with the same person all the time is getting dull. And as you walk around these stores, you see more people like that. People who've been married 7 years. People who've been living with their boyfriend for a long time. People who have kids together, never get any time together.
Uh-huh. Well, see, that's my case is that I've been with my boyfriend for a long time, but we have always done all the sorts of weird stuff that couples can do. Just be fun and playful with each other. I don't see that that's a problem, and that's making...
Well, so have you taken a glamour photo?
I've taken photos.
I don't mean a photo. I mean the one where you go to Sears and you change into an outfit.
That I haven't done, but I have done the...
Yeah, well, that's a sign that your relationship is about to die.
All right, well, I don't think...
There's not a man on the planet who wants to see his wife dolled up in all her 180 pounds of glory, looking like a Playboy bunny.
Well, now you just changed that a couple calls ago, because before you were just overgeneralizing to everybody. Now you said overweight women.
Oh, no. I'm saying, generally speaking, the women who do this are 180 pounds, 170 pounds, 160 pounds. They're up there.
Well, the glamour shots I'd agree with you with, but the striptease thing I don't agree with. I think that
you've only been with one guy since the stripper craze, and I'm telling the stripper class craze, and he may like it, but I'm telling you, most guys see that as a desperate attempt to try to revive interest in a relationship.
Don't you think that men look for women who are a little more kinky and a little more interested?
There's nothing kinky about being on a strip pole in your home. There's nothing kinky about it.
So you think you would choose a woman who sits there and does missionary every single night?
No, not at all.
Has a strip
no, I'll tell you what kinky is. Kinky is doing things like having sex anywhere, anytime. That's kinky. Right. But getting on a strip pole and acting like a stripper. First of all, I don't like strippers all that much. Okay, but it doesn't do anything for me. The fact is, I've never sat there thinking about a woman I'm with. If only she were a stripper.
Really?
It's just never been my fantasy. Never.
That's very interesting.
Because I think of strippers as the lowest form of whores, because they take money and they don't give you any services.
I'd agree with that.
And so the idea of somebody being a stripper doesn't excite me.
Okay, so the idea of somebody bringing toys in the bedroom doesn't excite you?
You know, if they do that, that's fine. But, like, if you've never had it done, if you're with somebody who's never done that, and suddenly they come home with a boatload of stuff, they just did $400 worth of shopping at the sex toy store, that's desperation.
So you got to pick them when they do that in the beginning.
But that's exactly right. If they do it in the beginning, then it's not desperation.
Okay.
If suddenly you've gone from there's somebody having sex with you once or twice a week in the missionary position to suddenly they become a major kinkoid and they buy all this stuff, that's desperation.
All right. I'll give you that then. But I'd love to know about the Madonna Inn thing.
Madonna Inn. It's you go to superpages.com. You can look it up. It's a hotel along the 101 freeway up near Paso Robles.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, Tom. I've learned a little something, and I will talk to you again.
All right. Thank you, Elise. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Anna on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. I just wanted to call and say I disagree with what you're saying.
About what?
About getting your hair done, buying new clothes. That doesn't mean anything. A classy lady's always going to look good.
Guess what? If you haven't done it for 3 or 4 years and you start doing it, it's desperation.
Okay.
If you walk around with vomit on your shoulder because you've been carrying a kid around all day long, you run around in sweatpants or stretchy floral print pants or whatever, and suddenly you start dressing sexy, it's desperation.
No, yeah, of course. You should always look good for your husband or your boyfriend.
Right, but there are many women who just get the guy to sign the contract, then they dial it down. They cut their hair off, they gain weight, whatever. When he stops paying attention, sometimes women resort to these tactics. Like suddenly they go back to doing what they were doing before, hoping to get the guy back.
Right.
And ladies, I want to tell you, it doesn't work. By that time, it's too late.
True, but the toys do spice up the marriage.
Toys?
All the toys,
no, you know what? If you weren't into them before the marriage, I think it's too late to bring them in 5 years in, 7 years in. Oh, right. Now we're bored, so now we're going to buy toys. Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay, Tom.
Thank you so much. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. These are the signs that the relationship is dying and the things people do to revive it. Probably things that won't work. Hector, hello.
Tom, you know what's worse is when a chick tries to make best friends with your mother and tries to take her shopping, out to lunch, and all that good stuff just to try to get in there.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't had that experience. The experience I've had is that women who befriend your mom generally do that when you're dating and you're not that hot on getting married or anything. And they try to befriend your mom in order to get mom to say, she's such a nice girl, you should marry her. When are you going to ask her?
That's it. I mean, that's happened to me a couple times, and it's just like they just sense it. They know you're over it, you're ready to move on, and that's when they just try to play that little game there.
I never introduced my little sluts to my mom. I didn't want to subject her to that.
Right on, Tom. Well, hey, could you take me out a couple queefs, a couple spanks, and a couple more queefs?
Let's see what we have here, Hector.
Harder! Ow!
Uh-huh. Sharon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. I love you. I can't believe I'm talking to you. This is so great.
Thank you,
I
Sharon.
just want to say you're amazing, first off, and I'm a huge fan, and my father's a huge fan, and he got me listening to you. And I totally agree with you. And not only do I agree with you, but I think it's hilarious, all these women that are calling you and saying they disagree when they're just completely in denial that their relationships are not working.
That's right. They call up and yell at me about it. I mean...
Right. And they say, oh, no, that means a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how come it wasn't healthy like that before?
That's right.
You only just started doing this.
Right.
I think it's hilarious.
It's usually women who've refused to do any kinky stuff or do anything with their husbands, or women who stopped having sex with their husbands or started having it once a week or twice a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever. Exactly. And now the guy's looking elsewhere, and so she's now going to use these desperate attempts to get him back.
That is exactly right. And I love all these women so far that have called in, and they say, no, that indicates a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Well, all right, well, if that's a healthy relationship, then that means you had an unhealthy relationship in the beginning.
Yeah. Why weren't you doing it all along?
Right, exactly.
That's right.
But anyway, Tom, I love you. I absolutely love you, and I love everything you do, and I agree with just about everything you say. And if I was a man, I would totally be a Leykis 101 guy.
I love that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Well, these people, they're freaks, but you know what? That's one of the reasons I listen, because they're absolutely hysterical.
You want to hear all the freaks.
Exactly.
And nobody has more freaks listening than Tom Leykis.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. Jenny, hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jenny.
I just want to say I think it's ironic how all the women disagree with you. But I just want to say, after clarifying what you were saying, I totally agree with you. I really hope that never happens in my marriage, but it's always fun to keep it a little spicy, but that's something that we've always done. So as long as you're always
it's got to be spicy from the beginning.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing I hate more than a relationship with somebody who, once they move in with you, once they marry you, they cut down the sex, they stop looking so good all the time. And then ultimately, when you start looking elsewhere, or you start watching more sports, or when you start going out with the guys more, suddenly women scramble to try to get our attention back.
I agree with you, and I think I can admit that the sex has gone down a little bit since we've gotten married and we have a toddler, but I still always like to look good when he comes home from work and make him appreciate me.
Well,
thanks, Tom.
That's good. Thank you. Crystal on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
That's good. I'm just kind of confused on, like, how you think it's wrong or that the relationship is going to end if you use toys or foreplay.
If you start doing it and you weren't doing it before.
Well, like, I've been married for a year and 3 months, and we just started, like, using toys, like recently.
Why? Because you're bored already.
No, because I want to try new things. I like to try new things.
Why hadn't you tried them in the beginning?
Because I was scared.
What are you scared of?
I don't know if it would hurt me in any way. Because I'm only 22, so I'm a good little girl. So, I mean, I never tried them before, and I was just, thinking, well, why don't we try them? So we did, and I liked it, and we do it more often now.
Mm-hmm. How old is your kid?
Oh, we don't have no kids.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got married anyway?
Yeah.
Boy. All right. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com. Tom@blowmeuptom.com, or visit our website. It's been redone. blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.